Hello, everyone. How are you doing? So today, as the title suggests, how to do velocity banking with a 0% credit card. Now, in doing a 0% credit card, I'm using Navy Federal credit card to reduce my interest rate to down to zero to use the cash to do velocity banking. So let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm going to start with sharing my screen first. Okay, so for many of you that have been following me, one of the things that I've been trying to do was use SMART goals. In establishing SMART goals, I want to be specific, measurable, achievable, results, and time bound. I had objective to doing velocity banking and reducing my debt. Particularly, I started off with 3 mortgages, now I'm down to 2, and I want to reduce my mortgage or credit report by 100 and I think $10. The strategy that I'm using is trying to learn as much as I can about velocity banking, financial literacy, and teach others and work with clients. I'm down to now action steps of things that I have to do specifically to reduce the debt using velocity banking. What is an action step? An action step refers to the specific efforts that are made to reach the goals your agency has set. Now, this would be an agency, organization, or you as an entity. Action steps are the exact details of your action plan. What do you want to achieve? They should be concrete and comprehensive, and each step should be explained. In this instance, I was looking at particular things that I need to specifically do to try to reduce the interest that I paid. Last year, I'd used Navy Federal convenience checks, cash advance, and paid about $184. I was looking to do some particular action steps to reduce that. So I'm using my Navy Federal green card, which has a outstanding available balance of $6,200. What I generally have done was use a cash advance check to pull 1,800 off of that, or 30% of the line. In addition to that, I may have gone to the bank and withdrawn 1,860 from the 6,200. I want to make sure that you understand that whatever your advance or whatever your limit on your credit card is normally 30% that you can use for cash advance, convenience checks, or liquidating the card as of this recording, 328. So my available credit is 6,200, and I'm able to liquidate 30% or take that off. That's 1860. So right now the balance is zero. And what I generally do, have the 2 dates in mind: my due date and the statement date. The due date is the date that I have to pay, or I like to pay the credit card down to zero. The statement date is the date that closes and gets reported to the credit bureau. So I try to make sure that I can do my due date and pay it off by the statement date. For this particular card is the 24th is the due date every month, and the 27th is the statement date. So I try to make sure that the card is paid off every month. So when I first started this, I was doing cash advance, taking that green card, pulling the cash from it, that 30%, and then putting it on my line. Well, started with credit cards. So I knocked out Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Capital One, but since then I've run those cards back up. But I was taking the 1860 every month off of the card and paying 18% at that particular time for the cash advance. Now, as doing some more research and reading, I then started using convenience checks. So the convenience checks were about 2 to 3 points lower percentage wise than the cash advance. So I did that for 2 months. One of my viewers from Connecticut pointed out maybe I can look at the prepaid card in terms of not getting any interest payments. I already had the prepaid card. I used it before, but I wasn't using it in that way, I think. So I went back, took her suggestion, and then I last month placed 1860 to pull from the prepaid Go card. So I went to my Navy Federal green card. No, I'm sorry. I went to the prepaid card first and initiated a transfer of 1860 from the card, took that and put it in the bank. But I can only withdraw 600 per from the bank. So it took me about 3 days to withdraw the entire 1860 from the card. But it was worth it because this month I paid 0 in interest. So here's the Navy prepaid card. I initiated a transfer or liquidation of 1860 from that card over to the green card. And here is fundamentally the results. You can see that previously I paid interest in December of $17, in January of $21, in February of 1971, there was a cash advance and convenience check. And for this month, as a result of liquidating, pulling off 1860 from this card and putting it onto the Go card and then going to the bank and withdrawing it, I tried to increase the limit in terms of not having to go back, but they would not allow me to do that. But again, I'm saving the interest. That was one of my action steps. Again, the action step is something that I had to fundamentally do to that I said to reduce the interest. Again, an action step refers to the specific efforts that are made to reach your goals an agency has set. You can be your own agency, you can be your own organization, but I fundamentally now no longer using the cash advance or the convenience check. I just liquidate the card from the prepaid Go card, and now I'm using interest-free loans. Once I get the 1860, I have to take it to another bank, drop it into that bank so it goes to my service provider. As I mentioned earlier, trying to get another HELOC where it could be called all-in-one, where we had more features. I tried Navy Federal. I was denied because of my debt to income ratio. So I'm possibly going back to my service provider, get another one, improve my DTI, debt to income ratio, so that I can possibly go to Navy Federal again or someone else. The hard pull that I got from Navy Federal is good for 120 days. The hard pull that I got from my other service provider, I think they said is good for 90 days. But I really want a more efficient HELOC. But I'm glad God has given me the opportunity to get this HELOC and to share this with you. Again, I like to thank my Connecticut subscriber for bringing this to my attention. I've been able to meet my action step and objective of paying 0% on cash advance card, and just really enjoying this velocity of money. This is day 451 of me doing it, and I'm going to continue to work down till I pay off all my mortgages and all my current debt. All right. Well, thank you very much for stopping by, everyone. You have a great day. Bye-bye.